Okay.
Okay. So Stacy, did you send a reminder to all the members? Stace?
Yes, we're live.
Okay.
I see a few people joining.
Okay,
already.
okay. 8 people. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We are super excited to have you all joining today. So we are waiting a few minutes before we start. So thank you so much for joining. Cyril, if you want to.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are now 15 people. Let's wait a few minutes.
No problem, whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, perfect. Hop là, 15, 17. Nice. Okay. Hop là, so let's start. We are now 20 people. That's amazing. Up here. So we are very excited to have you all here for our first digital Wedge for Biz. So this is the first time we go digital. So before we get started, we have created a little poll and because we would like to see how everyone is doing and how is the business doing. So Stacy, if you can please show the poll for people to answer. So we will share this poll and you can take a few seconds to answer.
Done.
Cool. Hop là. Done for me too. Okay, so Stacy, if you can share with us the results. Okay, so the poll results, okay, we have 35% who are ready to tackle what's to come. Amazing. And we have 18% who are tired and same, 18% who are happy and stressed and motivated. So, okay. Thanks for sharing about your mood. That's helpful for us to understand a bit more. And so now we will be starting this session. First, I would like to give you some updates about our community. So I will share with you my screen. Hop. Alors, give me 2 seconds. Here. And okay. So just a few updates about our community. So Green is the New Black, as you know, we are a community of conscious brands in beauty, lifestyle, and F&B and fashion. And we are now 160 conscious brands across 12 countries in Asia and Europe. So how we support the members, we do it through our website, through digital content creation, through the website, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the newsletter. So this will help you to give you more visibility. And we also organize event opportunities, offline and online. So I will be sharing a little bit more later about the opportunities. And we have also built a network of conscious brands. We have a WhatsApp group chat for you to share and learn from your best practices. We have also, we organize members meetup every 2 months for you to get to know each other. And we also organize the Wedge for Biz, which is happening today, which we would like to gather experts and our members, experts to help you to grow your business. So collecting concrete tips. So this is about the community, and I have some great news I would like to share with you. First, we have launched our marketplace, which is very new. We have launched 1 month ago, and so you can now showcase your products on the website to multiply your reach and scale your sales. So if you are interested, you can reach out to me after the event, and I can give you more details on how to be part of the marketplace. And then we have also a very exciting news, which is the launch of the Conscious Festival online. So for the first time, we go digital due to the circumstances. We were supposed to launch for the first time in London on the 13th and the 14th of June. But so due to the circumstances, we decided to go digital, and we will bring a full virtual experience with a marketplace, workshops and talks live. So this is super exciting, and we will be sharing a bit more within the few upcoming weeks. So you can subscribe and so you can join the event. We have also, as a new digital opportunity, the Earth Day Conscious Pop-Up, which is happening Wednesday, the 22nd of April. So we decided to celebrate Earth Day online this year, and also to support our members, because I know we all know that this is a very challenging time for you. So same at the Conscious Festival, we will have a virtual marketplace, talks and workshops live. So this is very simple. If you would like to participate, you send us your best products. We will upload them in the marketplace, and we will be supporting you across a campaign through our channels, the website, Facebook and Instagram page. So if you would like to learn more details, or if you haven't signed up yet for the Earth Day Conscious Pop-Up, you just let me know. I'm happy to answer your questions. And then we also have launched our online series, which is called Create Real Change from Home, a new world post-crisis. And it's happening every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Singapore time and 12 p.m. Paris time. So this online series gather experts sharing about sustainability topics, and especially how we can create a more conscious world post-crisis. So I think this is very interesting for everybody on a personal basis. But for you, the members, you get the opportunity to be featured. So we will be doing a shout out for 2 or 3 members every Wednesday. So if you have a special discount code, or if you would like to share a gift card, just let me know. You can email me, and I will be happy to share with the team so we can promote your initiatives. So this is for the updates. And now I would like to introduce you to, alors, just 1 minute. Hop là. I stop sharing my screen. Okay, and so now I would like to introduce you to our speaker. So I'm sure most of you have used Zoom before, but for those who haven't, you will see there is a chat function on the right hand side. At any point, feel free to drop in any questions or comments, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. So now I would like to introduce you to our speaker, Cyril Desnaux, CEO and founder of Elixius, part of Ematic Solutions Group. So Elixius is a performance-driven regional digital marketing agency headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, who embodies the new generation of agencies. they have built their entire ecosystem into providing an integrated offering. So Cyril, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
So before I start, I just wanted to thank Green is a New Black for having us today and having me during this COVID time. As you said, right, I'll just intro very quickly myself and I'll straight jump into the presentation. Let me share my screen and just let me know, everyone, if you can see, right? Hope it should be there any second now. All right. Is it good for everybody? Okay, seems to be all good. Okay, perfect. So yeah, my name is Cyril. I'm 31 years old. I'm French, as you can tell from the accent. I'm the CEO of Ematic Agency. It's a fairly young agency, 35 people in less than a year. I've been confined for the last 3-4 weeks. I think that you can tell from the haircuts. And I'm confined with my family, my wife, and my little 9-month-old baby. That doesn't make it easier. So I think today the idea was, tackle the COVID crisis also under the digital spectrum. We've all been into a lot of webinars lately. We've been all into a lot of different presentations. And the way I wanted to kind of go about it is to share my opinion as both an entrepreneur, a digital expert, and a manager, because I think that's what and how you need to navigate the crisis. It's not just about finding new things to do or new marketing campaign, but it's also how to pivot your business and how to manage your people, because that's, I think, kind of the key on this crisis is also the people, right? So here it doesn't have a purpose to be exhaustive, right? I really wanted just to share what we've seen so far, what we've seen with our clients. We have around 70 clients in Southeast Asia that are sharing that and that are in the midst of figuring out what to do during COVID. So it's kind of opening some doors for further conversation, and hopefully that will trigger some new ideas for the next weeks to come. All right. So just very quickly what we do, right? We're a digital marketing agency. We're part of a group. So Elixir is an agency. Ematic Solution is a marketing tech reseller and operator. So basically from your messaging platform to your attribution platform, we help you set it up. And Ematic Lab is our technology provider. Basically, we develop our AI tech in-house applied to digital marketing. As I told you, right, I just wanted to share you the type of clients we have, right? It's not exhaustive, but you can see that we have big corporate, small startup, entrepreneurs, or international groups, right? And what I can tell you is, I don't really know what size of business you are in, but everybody is impacted and everybody needs to reinvent himself. Even the sector that are so-called doing well during COVID. In terms of what we do, right, and that will take at least 2 seconds, is just we do all the marketing advertising. So all your Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads, all the web development and SEO, email marketing, and social media. Why I'm putting that slide here, right, is just for you to understand when I do some references to the clients and the work we do is what kind of service we've been providing. All right, let me jump right into it. Before that, just make sure you ask any question, right? I can't see you guys, but feel free to interrupt me. Just type the message here. I really want this to be some sort of a conversation. So please be my guest, all right? So the first thing I'm gonna bring to you, right, is so far, there is no magic formula to navigate during COVID. There are a lot of tips, there are a lot of good practices, but when you see things like people advertising that they've made 200% growth on the business, those are lies, right? Only a few handful of people who have really target markets and that can fully operate, most of the business are struggling. So I kind of taking like three angles, right? Navigating the crisis, what are the shift in customer behavior, and what kind of digital marketing strategy we can apply. I didn't go linear about that, but I kind of refer to these 3 points across all the slides. So I think there are tons of figures, right, and numbers going out there, and I just decided to highlight just a few of them because I found them particularly interesting into any things we want to consider. In terms of which source I've been using, it's a mix from Facebook. I can send actually all the list of the source. And there is also things we've seen from our clients. So some of them are our own analysis, around 70 clients. So very briefly, right, I think the key is the conception in terms of entertainment at home. This has been, it goes without saying, but it's really important to everything we're going to see later. Like, it's not only news and Netflix, but it's everything related to gaming, right? People at home are, some of them bored and are just trying to find a way to kind of bridge the mind outside of the COVID, and the gamification is important. We've seen a decrease of 25% in some of the cost per like on Facebook, right, across the board for all our clients. So this is quite key, not as a number itself, but it shows that people are rushing into social media and rushing to get some community sense out of this COVID. Everybody is isolated, whether it's family or just by themselves. It's a smaller circle, and everybody's trying to reach for bigger communities. We have average 80% increase in cooking at home. So what that means, of course, it goes without saying, right? We all need to cook now, but there is a lot of activities that people are rediscovering at home, whether it's, again, by themselves or in group. And that is quite important in how you're going to do our ads or our marketing strategy later. Another very important point is the 30% increase in the senior population that discovering internet. That opens a brand new market for any companies. I'm going to go back a bit longer into that, but literally, right, that's a big chunk of the population that's just opening internet now or just really starting to use it. And this is something the brand should capitalize on. Also, on a few surveys, right, almost 45, so almost 1 out of 2 people have declared to use something new. So kind of desperate time, desperate measures, but people are trying new things, whether it's a cooking class, whether it's a yoga class, whether it's a new service. It's kind of the moment of the why not, right? Since the situation is here, why not trying that, and why not doing this? And finally, an interesting data is the 10% decrease on time on site. That also means people, while at home, might not have the same attention as we would hope them to have, right? Because they're exposed to a lot of different things. So they're switching very fast. So those data are more like just pointers towards what I'm going to share just later. And this is quite interesting to see, right? Shifting in behaviors, yes. New opportunities, definitely. So, all right. So I think what I wanted to share, and this is quite critical in everything, right, is in every crisis, there are opportunities. So of course, I'm not referring to, this is a social crisis on top of it. I'm just purely focusing on the business aspect of it. Here, we've aggregated a lot of data across all our e-commerce players, right? And what you can see is average return of ad spend aggregated towards a lot of customers. The chart you can see is, this is within 15 days of lockdown, right? So from the first days, we have a spike, which is a panic buying. People are just, new to that, everybody is rushing. So maybe you've seen that in your own business, but there's been a spike. Then the next 2 weeks that have followed, or a bit less, have been where people have been kind of freaking out. They don't know what to do, so they don't want to resume to any purchase habit. Everybody has been saving. And for the past 6-7 days, a bit more than that, we've seen a huge spike back again. So it's way too soon to tell, right? But what we can foresee here is, since the COVID is a situation that's going to be our day-to-day for maybe the next month, we can see that people are getting back to the routine of purchasing. Again, this is very preliminary data, but this is something we've seen aggregated across the board. So it's quite interesting to see that there is a seasonality of the COVID. And maybe when the confinement will be extended country by country, we might want to watch out for this spike again. And that's where potentially investing could be good again. All right, so now I've tried to compile some of the big idea behind how to navigate the crisis, right? So I think there are 4 main ideas that I've break down. So some of these are pure digital. Some of these are kind of me sharing as an entrepreneur what we've done for the agency as a B2B business. Maybe that can, help some of you guys. And some of them are aggregating of what are the good practice in the industry. So the first one is time and innovation. I think a lot of companies have failed to grasp that this COVID situation is here to last. It's not only something about 2 weeks and it's going to pass. It's actually going to be much longer than that. And even after COVID let's say, we've passed the wave and everybody start to go out, the behavior might sustain. And we can see that from Hong Kong or China, where there are some things that remain, right? So the difficult part I find for brands here is to manage the short term and the long term at the same time. So what does that mean, right? So the first thing first, all right. So it sounds a bit of a marketing catch-up, right? Think long term, act short term, but that is still true. There are opportunities literally every day, right? And I think we have to start thinking the sales and the business very day-to-day basis. How can I do better today than yesterday? And not think too long-term at the beginning. So I just give you an example here. We have 2 things. The first one is the Dalgona coffee. In Malaysia, there's been very viral. Everybody was speaking about Dalgona and how to make this coffee. Very viral, very COVID situational. Some of our brand we work with, we've tapped on this and has been providing very good results. The thing is, it has passed. It's just about seizing the opportunity right now and then moving to something else. At the same time, right, the day we had the confinement in Malaysia, we put together a COVID-19 strategy. And as a business, we share it with all our partners. And actually that's what triggered this webinar, and with Green is a New Black. So what I'm trying to illustrate here is like, there is these little things that you can grasp on a daily basis and some sort of take the best out of that situation, because taking advantage wouldn't be the right way to put it. So whether confinement is extended, there is something to say about it. There is something viral coming on the internet, your brand can tap on it. A brand do something nice as an action, everybody talks about it, same, you can bounce on it and create business opportunities. I think not a sprint but a marathon means everything you do right in your business, the action should be really short term, but what you're planning and envisioning should be a bit more like within the next 6 months, right? What we've seen and start seeing in China and Hong Kong is some of the habits, right? Like these people spending more time on internet, or this elderly generation that are actually starting to be buyers are continuing even after people are starting to go out. So this is quite important to, even if I know it's tough time to struggle now, think of your long-term business, what it should be, and drive towards this. Another thing is the investment, right? It's counterintuitive, but now is a really good time to invest a bit more money if you can, right? Okay, just give me one time. My dog is giving me a hard time. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So when I'm saying invest, right, it's mean invest differently. So that could be investing time in something that has never been done in the past. For instance, investing time in getting a new skill that is relevant for a new side of your business. Or it could be investing into talent. I think nowadays everybody's trying to streamline, be careful about the cost, but now is more than ever the time to get the right expertise in the company to bring more value on the table. Investing obviously in digital. So of course I'm a bit biased, right? I ran a digital marketing agency, but the key here is you might be spending on other channels, but the time now is really to put that into the digital channel. We'll go back to that later, no problem. And I think the key here is if you've been investing the same way you've been investing for the past month before COVID, that means something is wrong and you should see change in your marketing mix. Finally, how kind of the risk management from every client we've seen, right? Everyone who have taken any risk so far has seen some sort of ROI back. Anything you had in the back of your mind in terms of, okay, what should I do in terms of new business update? What should I do in terms of new offering? Is it a good moment to launch it? Try it, right? I'm going to give you just a few examples here. First, as an agency, right, we have some client cutting the budget, so the times are a bit tougher than usual, and we are not in the hyper growth mode we used to be, right? But we had two things we wanted to launch that we had put a lot of time behind, and now we've launched already. But we've launched it in a week. Even if it's not perfect, we've just done it, right? So this is an academy where we're teaching people, and we're launching a new game, like how to gamify social media. And this was quite key to do it like really within a week. It's not perfect, but we've seen good traction. I'm just giving you another example, like some of the restaurants we work with that used to be purely offline dining. So this business has entirely stopped. So what they've done is they start launching, let's say, frozen products. And again, they go to market very fast. They just learn how to do a supply chain for delivery. So it's a lot of investment, a lot of risk, but these have been paying. So I encourage you guys, I know it's counterintuitive and we have a tendency to be like, okay, let's make sure we settle down and we face the crisis. It's also a good moment to potentially do this innovation you always wanted to be, but never dare to do. All right. Before I move on into the next big thing, any question there? All good? All right. Okay, so, oops, give me 1 second, sorry. All right, so moving on into kind of the marketing aspect. I think this situation has pushed people to go back to the basics to some extent of the marketing. We ask the right question about what is your product, who is your audience. So what does that mean actually? I think what we see is a shift in expectation on what brands should be doing and what they should be contributing. The hard sell mode is not something that is working right now. People are expecting brand to contribute. But that doesn't mean contribute in a social manner, right? We see these big groups that are like, oh, shifting their industry towards producing gel. That's really good, but all the business can't do that. It's just trying to contribute with anything that can be done, right? So whether it's addressing core needs, whether it's just communicating a bit more, right? As a brand, ask if people are safe, ask if they need anything, as if you could contribute to their welfare with your products, right? And I think one of the key here is reducing the noise of over communicating. I think people need to go back to the core product, which is what is your message, what value are you delivering, and more importantly, what extra service you can give. So I'm going to give you an example here. We're working with a yoga studio, right? So they have started shifting into, of course, online video, but that is easy. But then on top of that, they've started to give 101 classes to help people feel better. And that is for free, right? So of course it's a bit opportunistic, but it's like everybody, we still need to make business, right? So that's kind of bring me to the last point, which is address the elephant in the room. Right now, we are in this COVID situation. We should not pretend it's not happening. A lot of brands are tapping on it. So it doesn't mean being opportunistic because we're still speaking about a social crisis where people are dying, but that means some of your products can be useful in that situation. So as an example here, right, I'm just going to share another thing. These are examples where brands have been addressing it directly, right? So Manulife is an insurance company, and they have been dedicating a new product just to address the COVID stress. So of course they're trying to generate more money, but it's also benefiting the people who are unfortunately sick because they get coverage. L'Occitane, for instance, have been emphasizing on the welfare of staying at home and how it's important to pamper yourself while being at home. Or I Am Brand has been actually speaking about how to do your cooking while you're at home, right? So all this is addressing the COVID issue, but from a different angle, from a benefits and not a problem, right? So let me go back to the rest. So I think, yeah, when I say back to the basics in terms of digital, I'm also say rethink your 4 Ps, right? It sounds very basic, but it's like, what's your ideal persona? What's your product? What's place, promotion? All of this needs to be think through, right? Basically, 80%, I mean, 45% of the people have been trying a new service. That means your ideal persona has now been expanded to a much bigger audience and a much bigger crowd. So we're seeing in a lot of, or even smaller clients that they have people buying and the service or the product that they've never seen before. As a digital marketing agency, right, I'm having chats with either very big brand or very, very small people that I would never consider as my target market in the past. So here, try to think beyond what you're originally targeting and really test, right? Test towards a different audience, a different crowd, a different country, if that is even possible. Another thing is go full digital. I think this goes without saying, but nowadays, this is the only channel that can really make a difference for your brand. I'm going to spend an entire point on this, right? On what to do on digital. So I'm not going to go full in, but based on your marketing basics, right? What's your channel mix? Should you depend on radio, TV, all of this? Right now, the go-to would be digital because it would be way cheaper than all of the big media and much more efficient. When it comes to campaign angle, right? I think it's quite simple and there are maybe 5-6 points that every brand should be working on. The first one is trying to have some sort of a freemium approach of your service. So whether it's, you know, in the gaming, people can start game and then they have in-app purchase. If you have a service, maybe you can have 30 minutes for free. If you have a product, maybe you can have a discovery tool first and then you have another like full-fledged buying. But anything you can have and try to get your people to test your product. Now it's a good moment for discovery. Another quite good angle is all the bundle offering, right? A lot of people, oh wait, are you guys still here? All right. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So a lot of people are actually stuck at home with a lot of family members, right? It's not uncommon that we see like 5-10 people in one household and consuming, right? So all the bundle package from goods, from foods are working very well at the moment. And also it's tapping on the panic buying, right? When people buy 1 pack of pasta, they might need to buy 15. So if you have bundles, if you have promotion on bulk, it's really something that has been triggering ROI on the ads we've seen so far. The gamification part is a very good campaign angle. If you want to do lucky draws, if you want to keep people entertained while actually trying to consume your product, it's really a good moment to do it. It can be as simple as a spin the wheel campaign, a scratch and win, a challenge. Try to add some fun into your brand experience. Fun can take a lot of different angles, right? But this is up to you to define based on your own audience. The always on discount, I'm not going to spend time on this. It's also a good moment to sell and get promotion. Again, I think the key is to trigger that first purchase right here. And finally, the free shipping, same. This is something very, very classic at the moment. People have no choice but to get shipped. So one of the brand would be to help this get delivered to your doorstep. All right, so moving on to the performance marketing and a bit more zooming into the actually techniques and what you can be using at the moment. So I think one of the key is to review your basics, right? So one of these, what do I mean by basic? I don't know, again, maybe all of your business are not on digital, maybe some of them are, so this is gonna sound quite dull, but I think it's quite key here. So the first thing first is to set up a proper website. If you don't have a functional website, that can't work. Setting up your database. What I call with a database is having a proper ESP, right? So a email sending provider, being a MailChimp, being a campaign monitor, whatever. Setting up your social media, Facebook, Instagram, these are platforms that you need to activate. And if you have one, be twice active as usual. And finally, set up your Google Analytics or your tracking. Otherwise, you're going to do action blindly. And that is not something you want to do because long-term, you're not going to capitalize on your action. So here, right, if everything is not perfect, that's fine. We are all in survival mode. So what you need is something that is working. So for instance, right, you want to sell online, you don't have an e-commerce, but you have a website. I don't know, try affiliation. Try marketplaces, try direct selling through bank transfer and private message. If you are doing your advertising, make sure your basic tracking is in place. You have set up your retargeting campaign. If you want to collect data, make sure you have a pop-up. So every time somebody comes up to your website, you are actually capitalizing on this, right? Whether it's dirty, whether it's not as beautiful as it could be, it really doesn't matter. The importance is this being here and functional. Giving you an example, right, on social media now, what we're doing, so that's kind of my second point, going hard on social media and community, is a lot of brands are, you know, panicking and they want to try to drive as much sales as possible, but they don't have the infrastructure and the e-commerce apparatus. So they're going through WhatsApp sales. There is no perfect WhatsApp sales model right now. There is only a few providers. But what the brands are doing are that they are creating specific formats that are perfect fit for the WhatsApp picture. So then they can share to their community can share, and they go back to processing manual order. Every company should kind of be back to startup mode when it comes to generating money. Even if it's bootstrapping, even if it's patching work, that's still fine. When it comes to social media, right, now is the very good moment to build a community. If there is a moment to invest and to make sure your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages are growing, it's now. Everybody is really receptive to discovering new things, to actually seeing a new brand, seeing a new ads. We see that in all our cost per like, our cost per engagement across the different brands. So when I say social media, could be Facebook, could be Instagram, could be LinkedIn, whatever your business is has more appetite for. Ultimately is build and activate your database, right? So one of the things is now is a good moment to reactivate the people that used to buy with you, but that haven't bought in a long time. They are valuable potential buyers. So when we've been like very heavy on retargeting and remarketing. So remarketing specifically the people that have been buying, even with a bigger window frame. Usually we go with the next 30 days, 60 days. We've moved into 180 days and even more than that. So this is something you should really consider now, and also building your database for the future time. As I mentioned, right, it's not all dark, there are opportunities. So the moment you find something that is working, capitalize on this. Make sure you get their email address, and then you can continue the discussion over email or over any other channels you see fit. But this will be helpful at a lot of different levels. First, when COVID is over, you are going to be stronger than before. Second is because with more data, you'll be able to use that specifically on your ads to either do retargeting or to build your lookalike. So the final point of the presentation on digital, right? I'm going to go just a little more tactical and a little more in depth and technical in terms of the wordings here. So since I don't know how familiar you guys are, that might be very complicated or still very simple. Specifically on the way you do advertising online, right? And the way you do your Facebook ads, your Google ads. First, you need to speed up your cutting time when it looks at your ads. Instead of letting your ads running for like a day or 2 days or whatever you usually do, right? Try to narrow down within the couple of hours. Your A/B testing powers is much faster because you have a bigger audience capable of digesting your ads. Second point, go very heavy on A/B testing. From version A, version B, version C, try different angle, try different way of going around your product, about your message, because again, you have a proportion to get results faster. Finally, third point, sorry, increase your audience, right? So go beyond like, okay, I used to target men between 25 and 35, now expand to older people or some younger crowd or people from a different city. Try beyond everything you've ever tried, right? We see a lot of good results. It's not a 100% foolproof strategy, but if you test fast, you'll be able to isolate the niche that are working now and tap on a better pool of people that are converting on your website. Okay, even more technical now. When you do your lookalike audience on Facebook, which is a way to target people, usually Facebook do some sort of 1%, 2%, 3%. Go extend even more, right? Because again, this is trying to reach a bigger audience compared to what you're doing. Usually when you do lookalike on people who have purchased within the next 180 days, for instance, shorter that period of time. Because what you want is to tap on your new buyers, let's call them the COVID-19 buyers from your business. So maybe try lookalike on only the last 3 weeks or the last month, right? Again, these data could change on the size of your business, on your money power capabilities. Refresh your ad angle daily, right? You want to make sure you stay relevant. It's kind of point of my first point, which is there are things happening daily you need to tap on. You need to change your ad angle on a daily basis. Operate a shift between your channel. You might see that Facebook is working better, your Instagram, or working better that your Google ads. Be more drastic into the change you do, right? It's a good time to risk and to be a bit more bold in terms of your bidding strategy. And the last 2 points would be definitely working on your retargeting. That is a must do. And try to have video ads. I don't know if it's within your capabilities or not, but the video format is working more than ever. People are getting exposed to a lot of ads, so you need to stand out through these video ads. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you 1 second. I really need to plug that computer in. All right, sorry about that. And I'll go to my final point, right? I think I shared a bit of the different touch point, right? But now as a manager and with my own company, right? I think people start to focus on customers, but the right key of surviving the COVID to me is the employee. So whether you're 1% or 2% or 500 people, right? This is where in the end, you're gonna survive. And this is quite key. Spend your time, spend your money, invest your time on your employee. So I just wanted to share, right? You might have seen a lot of how people have done it in the past. It doesn't mean to be disruptive. I really just wanted to share what we've been putting in the agency as a kind of a daily practice. And I think we've been doing that quite well. People are still happy. Nobody's on nervous breakdown. I know somebody consulted a shrink, but that's fine, right? That's part of the game. But anyway, what we try to do is replicate the daily routine from the office. So usually when you go to the office, you start by saying hi to everybody. And that's what we're practicing on a daily basis. In the morning, and you say bye when you leave, the same way you would do, right? The importance of showing your face, and that's something we've actually adjusted during the time, right? We started all just by jumping on calls, jumping on videos, but sometimes we didn't put the camera on. And I think that's quite key because at the end of the day, we're still human beings and we still need that connection. Keep socializing, right? When you're in office, I don't know, you go for lunch with your colleague or you go for a beer or you have a chit chat over a coffee. Do replicate those same things, right? For us, sometimes we are having our lunch break in front of the camera. So it's a bit weird, I know, but that really helps. Sometimes we officially call for a happy hour or a coffee break in the middle of the day with whoever colleague you were doing that in the past. And I find that putting these together really help bring people together, because 3 weeks of confinement is fine. When it's going to be 3 months, it's going to be an entire different ballgame. And the final two part, right, would be touch base 5 times more. I mean, at least that's what I'm trying to do. I know Clemence is in the call. She's working with me, so maybe she'll say it's a bit too much. But I'm trying to really touch base with people, right? When I'm in the office, I talk a lot. I talk a lot with the people, and I'm trying to have that same habits over call, even if it's just like, what's up, touch basing on a client, what have you done this weekend? There is no wrong way to do it, I think. And ultimately, the proper tool, we've chosen Discord. That might be an odd choice, but we had some gamer in the company and they suggested that. That works really, really well for us. I don't know what you guys are using, happy to share there in the later stage of the session. But this is quite key. A good tool is like a new office. This would be the place where you spend a lot of time. So whether it's Zoom, whether it's whatever. So that would be it for me, right? I hope I covered whatever you guys expected to see. Maybe we can jump on a few questions now. Oh, I see I've like, oh, I've seen a question now that I missed. Video ads is possible on Google Ads. Yes, let me define what is Google Ads first. On Google, you have a lot of different ways to advertise. You can do search ads, which is pure text. You can do display ads, and you can do shopping ads. Those and YouTube ads, but YouTube is obviously video. But Google search ads, you can't use ads, but you can use video, sorry. You can use video on display ads though. So display would be, for those who are not familiar, when you browse a website, let's say a news website, you would see some banners on the side. That's what would display be. And that's where you can have video ads or motion design ads. Same when you go and you do your retargeting. Let's say I sell shoes, somebody comes to my website, they don't purchase, then they're gonna browse other websites. I wanna push an ads about that shoe that they've consumed on my website. I want these ads to be at least animated. Doesn't have to be video where you film, right? This is very hard to do, but at least some sort of a slideshow, it's really quite key right now. So Diane, what about multi-screening? This is quite a relevant question. I think you're right. I didn't tackle that enough in the presentation, but surprisingly, right, what we're seeing, there is a big go back to the desktop as well, right? But people are browsing simultaneous screens at the same time all day long. Usually what we used to see is, okay, people will watch TV in the evening and at the same time they would be on the mobile. But right now they are at the same time on the TV, on the computer, and on the mobile. So for those who have a lot of budget, then you can have multi-screen ads running through TV and digital at the same time. For the others, I would actually suggest you really keep to what's working. So if you see good traction on mobile, forget about desktop, focus all your effort on mobile. If you see both, continue both, right? Be very, don't try to fix rule for the next 3 weeks. Everything we know before is not relevant anymore. So hope that answered the multi-screening. Okay, so do you have any advice, minimum ad spend for marketing strategy? Oh, okay, so this is kind of the $1 million question. Let's say I'll take several scenarios, right, to try to encompass as many people as possible. So if you've never spent online before, I think you should start with between something like 1,000 USD to max 2,000 USD. If you go below that, you might not be able to see a trend. So you might spend 50 USD in some campaign, and that's gonna work crazy well. And then you say, hey, I found something. And then you spend another 50 and it doesn't work at all. It's gonna be very hard to do some modeling around that. If you can't, right, the answer is just spend as much as you think is relevant and just make sure you have the capability to measure the impact. You want to spend towards getting a like on Facebook, make sure you know what you're spending for. That's the key, otherwise you're going to end up spending blindly. Otherwise, for people who have more money, I think now is not the time to crazy reinvest. I would say just make sure you shift your budget accordingly. And if you find a niche, and if you find a niche that is working, that's the moment where you should be spending that extra 10, 20% towards your budget. I would say if you want to go crazy and really tap on something you found, be very careful on the timing. Don't let it run than more than 2-3 days. Otherwise, you might see a decrease in your ads delivery. All right, so I have 2 sets of questions. So San, you asked, you spoke about video ads. Doing one can be quite expensive. How can we do it cheaper and yet effective? All right, so there is a lot of dirty ways to go about this. They are correct. Motion design ads are fairly more expensive than static ads. Now, if you have, let's say, a designer in-house, when I say invest money or invest time, that's a good time for this person to invest into animating those banners. It might not be super beautiful, but really just the fact, I really want to emphasize on that. It might sound trivial, but just the fact of having the product coming in and an exit and a message would be more efficient than just a static ad. So even if it's a bit dirty, do it and try it. Of course, if you are a luxury brand, that could not apply. Right? Again, you have to take all my context on who you are or what your business is. But I would say, if you want video ads, otherwise go with professional and hire some people to do it. Hire some freelancer, find a friend, ask your community. A lot of brands have been working on the community side, right? They have asked a member if they have any skills and they want to participate, and they kind of thanks them with either products or later on a free service. There are a lot of these co-building that can be built through brands, agencies, and also users. And you can also try to use some tools, right? Right now, a lot of ads are working quite well on some mobile app to create your own videos. They have seen the trend and they're giving some freemium. So kind of applying the concept I just said before, they're giving like your 30 first videos for free, or your try to create, and then they give you some sort of a subscription model. It could be worth it to pay for it right now. That would be a good investment into your marketing mix. Hope that answers your question, Sam. All right, so now with Jennifer says, you mentioned Google Shopping. In your opinion, is that an area we should focus on? Do we need a Google business account to set up Google Shopping ads? I have personal accounts and use for analytics. So Google Shopping ads. Yes, it could be a very good road to go. But again, that depends on your situation. So first, do you need a Google business account? You need a Google account and set it up to your business, if that's your question. To do a Google Shopping, you need to link it to your product feed. That would be the best way to do it. That would require a bit of technical plugin, but you can also go a manual route. Now, in my opinion, if you have one channel to invest, that would be on Facebook more than Google. That would be cheaper. That would benefit you at a lot of different ways. While you do Google Shopping, of course, you're trying to capture the people that are looking for that product. So it's more, it seems more right straightforward, but you might be spending a lot of money, and you have still a lot of big spender actually putting a lot of money on Google. So you might be competing and doing the reverse way. While doing it on Facebook, right? If people, at least they don't buy, they would still see your brand. They would still interact with your brand. And if you do it properly, they would also like your page or engage with your post. And those data are really important because you can then retarget them. So you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I think it's a way cheaper road to go. If it's kind of, oh, should I do shopping ads or should I do Facebook? Should I do dynamic ads on Facebook or dynamic ads on Google Shopping? I would still privilege Facebook in Southeast Asia at the moment. All right, hope that answers your question. All right, it seems that there is no more question. Anybody has anything that they would like to share maybe or comment? Ah, Jennifer, thank you. Okay, then it seems to answer your question. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I see two more questions. Do you have any advice for fashion brands? Difficult time to promote. All right, that's really, really true, Claudia. The fashion industry is definitely taking a hit with the COVID. Now, maybe I can share you, so it's a bit of a niche, right? But we have a company that is doing scarf in Malaysia, and they are doing actually quite well. They have some of the things you can try is the free shipping and free return. I don't know if your supply chain can get that, but this is really key, right? People are really willing to test, right? We see a lot of people going on this fitness challenge. So that might be something you can, like, let's say, I don't know what your fashion brand is about, but maybe you can have tap with this fitness celebrity. And if people do the fitness challenge, they can win free products. So at least you will get exposure. The bundle as well. So the more you buy, the more you can have a discount. That works quite well on a new outfit. All the ads angle towards reinventing yourself, finding yourself in a good mood while at home, right? Pampering yourself if you can, maintaining that routine is something that has been working. But really the key here in the brands we've seen that are getting some traction is the free return. So if you can do that, do it. And finally, if you can't sell, try to tap on brand awareness and try to get as much as possible on the building your Facebook page, getting exposure on your product. All right, so swimwear brand. All right, you're making my life a bit more complicated here. Definitely on top of my mind from swimwear, it's obviously harder to reply because nobody can go swim now. But I would say that's where you need to start gearing up to next, what happened next, right? So it's a bit of a shot in the dark because we don't really know when this is going to stop, but you're going to have a huge spike into what's coming next. How do you prepare? Again, same advice. You do a fitness challenge, that's perfect for your swimwear. You want to do go out of confinement, this is where you need to preempt. So you might have some sort of a downward curve and you should gear up to when the market bounces back. But it's a bit of a harder one to respond. All right, Yumika, give me 1 second to read your question. We cannot create professional content. Is that money worth being spent? All right, so yes, I would say it's not so much, okay, I get what your point is mediocre, right? So again, this answer really gonna be based on your brand. But to give you an example, right, even for our business, right, we are launching an academy to teach people how to do digital, how to teach people to run ads, right? The thing is, I had a big vision for that academy, right? I wanted it to be physical. I wanted it to be a lot of session when it's mentorship, when it's all those things, right? I had the perfect product in my mind, except I can't do it. I can't do it now for obvious reason. So we've decided to shift the entire thing and to still offer it to the market. So it's gonna end up with video call where we actually show our screen, where you're going to see me potentially or some of the people running the class exactly like you see me today. So maybe, you can call that mediocre content compared to what it should be, but I think it's still worth investing time to, if you have proper content to show, no matter what the format is, right? Just focus on the delivering value and adding value, even if it's a bit shaky, right? Now, if you are like super big brand and it's super luxury brand, that might be a bit of a different ball game altogether. But for the rest, I would say we are all in the same boat. We all facing the same difficulties. So people would appreciate putting the effort, putting the time, even if it's a bit patchy. Ahmad, hey Ahmad, get my contact. Cool. Oh, I think somebody replied that. I'll share my contact after. It will be a pleasure to speak together. Okay, I see a few other questions on the other side. To be clear, your data, Southeast Asia, yeah, correct. All the data is Southeast Asia, right? I don't have a lot of data about Europe, and it's not a market we do a lot. In Europe, we only work with players that are doing like gaming, and this is a total different ball game right now, because gaming on mobile is one of the only market that is not suffering at the moment. Diane was saying conscious products. Yes, correct. So I think one of the important points, right, when I say address the elephant in the room when it comes to speaking about COVID, is all about a mix between not being opportunistic about it, right? It's still a very serious matter where people are dying. But if you are adding value to any sense through that situation, you should be talking about it. Especially if you have earth conscious products, people are really starting to reflect on it. If you ask my personal opinion, I don't know if behaving differently is going to continue post-COVID. For how long, I don't know. But for the product we are quite green, this is a good moment. We have one of our clients in Malaysia who is doing with no packaged food, right? Bulk food. This is working quite well. Everything that is, you can recycle. There is definitely a big market there. So just make sure you, again, capitalize on the value you add. Don't try to be opportunistic per se. Everybody understands that everybody's trying to survive and do a business. So that's fine to come up with new angles and trying to take the best of the situation as long as it's delivering value one way or another. Cool. I hope that answer or kind of add on Diane's comments. All right. Are we any other things you guys want to? I mean, I can also deep dive in some of the points that I've mentioned if something was not clear or if somebody joined later. I'm also happy to hear some of your feedback, right? Maybe some of the things we've seen in our clients is completely reverse to what you've seen. That's kind of what makes this situation on a digital perspective quite challenging and quite interesting to grasp, right? Because the behavior are changing very, very fast. But if there is no question, then I'll just let you guys go back to the day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cyril, for this presentation. Amazing. Thank you for all these great tips you gave to our members. And we can see that we had a lot of questions. So I'm sure it has been super helpful. So everyone, we will be sharing Cyril's contact if you would like to connect with him. And we will be also sharing a two-pager with all the tips. So everything will be sent in an email tomorrow. So,
all right. Thank you very much, guys. And again, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to have a chat. It's always a pleasure, right? It's kind of our only way as a digital marketing agency to contribute to the crisis is kind of orientate people. So if we can do it, will be a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Cyril. And thank you everyone for joining us. So now you can take 2 minutes, please, to think about what you liked, what you want to see next time, and leave your comments in the chat, or you can also email me. So that would be great, please. And also remember to get in touch with us if you would like to join the Conscious Festival online, the Earth Day event, and also the marketplace. So I'm happy to answer your questions by emails or by calls. Voilà, here everybody. I hope you good evening. I wish you a good evening. Bye, and we'll see you for the next Wedge event next month. Thank you. Thank you, Cyril. Thank you to everyone. Bye. Okay. Stacy.